So once we're past about 30% or so, that's when we start looking at side branches and top pods to make sure, and this is a top pod from a side branch, to make sure that the seeds are
just peeling, firm, and you can roll them.
Very firm, yeah. If we take one from the top, maybe we can even find one in here.
But whether it's exactly like this or not, I can't say for sure. But he said it would turn reddish.
Yeah, see, even these are hard. But like when you open it up and the pod is full of those little guys that are translucent, you can see through them. They're just a little water bag. If we cut that today, they certainly wouldn't.
They would just shrivel up. Hey?
Absolutely. So like once we've got to about 10% change, which let's say this field did average that, because there are a few plants that are there, 10% change on the main stem, and there's frost in the forecast, like within like 36 to 72 hours or so. That's when we'd really start looking at knocking that field down. The amount of frost that a swathed canola plant could take, even at that young, or that even at 10%, is a whole lot better than if it were standing.
Really?
For two reasons. One, the moisture in the plant drops right down. It's a little tougher to freeze it, and that's part B, exactly. Yeah, the swath will actually insulate itself as long as that frost isn't, 8 or 9 degrees from midnight till 8 a.m. Then no matter what you've done, if it's standing, if it's swathed, your green is locked in. Want to avoid swathing during the heat of the day, obviously, especially once we're getting up into that 60 or 70% color change. The faster that plant dries down, what you do is you deactivate the enzymes that break down chlorophyll, and that's what's going to contribute to your green, right? So the faster that plant dries down to below 20%, the more green you're going to have in.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can bring that back a little bit, like some good rains, getting your seed moisture back up again. If it's a speed dry down like that, you still can metabolize some of that green, but you need to get back over 20% moisture to do it. If it's that green when you get like a 7 or 8 degree frost, your green is locked in. Those enzymes have been demolished, and that's it. So by the 15th, 16th of September, we're 2 or 3 days away from a frost, and we're at 10 or 15% color change. If we want to avoid green, that's when it's time to start swathing at those early stages.
With a possibility of a huge yield decrease.
With yeah, from 10% to 60% change is a pretty easy 8 to 10% yield gain. So if you're out there swathing at 10%, and there's a couple fields in this area that have gone down that early, a 6 or 7 day fishing trip would have given you, 2 or 3 bushel an acre extra yield. So we really want to be waiting till, for the ideal yield, 50-60% change on the main stem, all the side branches have mature seeds, and then we're swathing not during the heat of the day. So if we start getting up over 26-27 degrees, shut her down, and start up again once the dew starts to pick up, go till about 3 or 4 in the morning, so that stuff has a chance to dry down nicely. Sleep in. Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you guys don't have to get up and milk the cows.
No, sure don't. The place that I was at in Legal last year, we actually cut all our canola from 8 a.m. till about 7 or from 8 p.m. till about 7 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. We had a little bit of spare tinea, and I made the owner wait until we were past about 50% change or so, and he started getting really worried about shattering, so he started swathing at night, and I was like, okay, do your thing. I'll go spraying during the day. Anyway, yes, that's basically what it comes down to with time of swathing. This field is nice and even compared to a lot of the other ones. Actually, this area actually is quite good. Once you start getting towards Falere, there's a lot more of multi-stage crops. There's still some stuff that's flowering. Exactly, yeah. What we need to do in those cases is look for where the areas of the field that are going to give you the most yield, and that maturity stage that's going to give you the most yield, and the greatest likelihood of maturing before it freezes. Some of those areas that are still flowering now could, if it didn't freeze until the 15th of November, could have some great yield potential to them. But that doesn't happen here, so we're going to have to cut our losses at some point and save the earliest crop that's going to provide the best yield. And that's, unfortunately, there's no chapter and verse that you can quote that's the same for every field. Every field's going to be different when they've got those maturities in them. Some of them might be worth waiting 2 or 3 weeks from now even. Depending on where you are, around Fairview, we could probably be safer waiting till about the 15th, 16th of September before swathing these things. Around Beaver Lodge, it should probably already be on the ground. Their average first... Manning? Manning is kind of like the rest of the central piece, isn't it? Like it's around the 10th or so is their average first frost, I believe.
I know, it's my first year up there.
Okay. That information's got to be somewhere.
For sure.
I should probably find it.
The guys will know too.
Yeah, guys, that's
Yeah.
probably your best resource. Yeah, is ask them when their average first frost is.
I know they get hail early.